Thanks for watching Community Update for Friday, August 7th. I'm Steve Erickson. Local and state officials gathered this week on top of the new railroad overpass on Hanson Boulevard to mark the completion of the project, which has been years in the making. CTN's Steve Antis joins us now from Hanson Boulevard with more on the celebration. Steve?
Steve, it took 2 construction seasons to complete all of the work on what can be described as 3 bridges in one. It includes a tunnel you can see behind me for 108th Lane and a pedestrian tunnel to the south of the railroad tracks. The ribbon cutting was the proverbial cherry on top of this $25 million project.
It is the goal of first responders to get to the scene of the emergency as quickly and safely as possible. This location has long been a challenge in our community to get to those calls quickly.
For years, Fire Chief John Piper has been the man behind the Herculean task of getting a railroad overpass built in Coon Rapids, so it was appropriate for him to serve as the master of ceremonies.
Senator Newton.
Many who made this bridge possible gathered to mark its completion.
We're standing here today on this bridge because of a strong partnership between several stakeholders who recognize the need for a grade-separated overpass.
The 2017 Minnesota legislature passed the bonding bill signed by Governor Dayton, which committed the state to paying half the costs of the project.
Trains would block the crossing from 6 to 8 minutes, sometimes as much as 25 minutes. And as somebody who drove through here a lot for door knocking and coffee with constituents at Caribou, I noticed.
A passing train showed up to share the moment.
Timely.
The Burlington Northern Santa Fe put in money for the bridge, and since the North Star commuter rail runs through here, the county's Transit Improvement Board put up a large share.
We were allowed $4.2 million from them. The city coughed up $1.1 million, the county's in for $1.4 million.
This is a big thing.
While still under construction, the new bridge got credit for helping speed up the emergency response for Mayor Jerry Cook's mother.
But on June 16th, when my mom collapsed outside in her yard having suffered a major stroke, and with our top-rated Mercy Hospital and our EMTs and 2 of our 3 fire stations on the opposite side of the railroad tracks, the fact that no one responding was delayed by a train was huge.
3, 2, 1. Cut the ribbon and the hose. Come on, firefighters are supposed to be first.
And as the public safety vehicles paraded over the bridge, Chief Piper summed up the journey it took to get here.
The goal of allowing public safety to respond to emergencies without being obstructed at the railroad crossing is huge.
Besides the improved public safety response times, this bridge eliminates vehicle traffic backups caused by trains, and it allows the Burlington Northern Santa Fe Railway to use the tracks as a staging area where trains can wait for clearance to enter the Northtown Rail Yard. Steve?
All right, Steve, a lot of people happy that that project is complete. Thank you very much. Another busy area of town is about to get some safety improvements. On Tuesday night, the City Council approved plans and specifications and ordered advertisement of bids for a new traffic signal in the Riverdale area. The signal will be installed on Northdale Boulevard between the Famous Dave's and McDonald's restaurant. Pedestrian and median improvements will also be made. And just to the north, an island barrier will be installed to prevent cars leaving Costco from turning north, which is prohibited. The contract is expected to be awarded in September, with construction taking place in October and November. The city hopes to help eligible businesses in town in the coming months through the Coon Rapids Business Relief Grant Program. On Tuesday night, the City Council approved the guidelines for the program, which will distribute about $1.6 million Coon Rapids received from the Federal CARES Act. Businesses with fewer than 20 employees would be eligible for grants of up to $15,000, while businesses with 20 to 100 employees would get up to $30,000. City staff would ultimately determine the final amounts. Recipients must demonstrate financial hardship.
I think the program is phenomenal. I think it will really help our businesses, and that is the whole intent, to be able to make sure that we can keep our businesses in our town and help them through this pandemic.
Applications will likely be taken in late August, with grants awarded in early fall. Watch the city's website in the coming weeks for more details. Families with school-age children are debating whether or not to send their students back to the classroom. The Anoka-Hennepin School District would like parents to share their intentions for the fall by next week. CTN's Jennifer Anderson is here now with more. Jennifer?
Steve, the options before parents right now are to choose between a hybrid learning scenario where children attend in-person school 2 days a week and do distance learning at home 3 days a week, or keep their kids home full-time for distance learning. Anoka-Hennepin released a 20-page return-to-school roadmap this week, which provides some idea of what the hybrid and distance learning models could look like. All Anoka-Hennepin schools will divide students into 2 groups based on their address. Group A will attend school in person on Tuesday and Wednesday only. Group B on Thursday and Friday. Monday will be virtual learning days for everyone, as teachers provide support and prepare online learning materials for the rest of the week. This hybrid model will allow schools to stay at 50% capacity, limiting in-person group sizes and making social distancing easier to achieve. Meanwhile, every student will have a device this year, either their own or one provided by the school. On the days students are learning at home, elementary classes will have a structured schedule made up of a mix of live or pre-recorded instruction paired with online activities under the guidance of a teacher. Lessons will look more like a regular class day for middle and high school students. Each distance learning day, teachers will begin the lesson via live stream, addressing both the students in the classroom and those at home, and attendance is required. But middle and high school students also have the option to choose a completely virtual learning experience this year that allows them to log in and complete work at their own pace and on their own schedule. Anoka-Hennepin schools want families to complete a survey by next week to share whether they want to choose full-time distance learning or the hybrid model. It's a lot of information to wade through, and the district has answers to dozens of frequently asked questions on their website. You can find them at ahschools.us/COVID-19. And Steve, Anoka-Hennepin has been updating this website several times a day with the latest answers as they become available.
All right, lots still to sort out. Thanks, Jen. It wasn't the news some high school athletes wanted to hear, but this week we learned 2 fall sports will be delayed until spring. On Tuesday, the Minnesota State High School League Board of Directors voted to move prep football and volleyball games to the spring. However, those athletes will still be allowed to practice this fall. The rest of the fall sports will be allowed to go on with modifications to the number of events and season length. Those include soccer, cross country, girls tennis, and girls swimming and diving. So far, no decision has been made about winter sports, but due to the delay of football and volleyball, the normal spring sports schedule will move to the summer. The Coon Rapids PD is teaming up with other police departments in Anoka County to help students in need this fall. A box for school supply donations is set up in the lobby of the police department. Items needed include backpacks, colored pencils, markers, Ziploc bags, notebooks, folders, and more. The police department lobby is open Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Voters in Minnesota will head to the polls next Tuesday for the primary election. Locally, 2 of the 4 city council seats up for re-election this fall are on the primary ballot. For council member at large, 3 candidates are running: Pat Carlson, Christopher Geisler, and Pablo Hernandez Jr. There's also 3 candidates vying for the Ward 4 seat: incumbent Jenny Geisler, Jeff Cosman, and Sheila Joy Rose. The top 2 vote getters in each race will move on to the general election in November. Again, Tuesday, August 11th, polls are open from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. And after the polls close, we will be here to bring you the results from those 2 city council races. That's going to do it for us today. Thanks for watching. We'll see you right back here again next week.